Hi, You Can Heal family. Welcome back to another reading of 2 Samuel chapter 21 in the Old Testament. My name is Shena, and we are moving right along. I'm outside my daughter's ballet studio waiting to pick her up. So I figure I'd get some reading done. I got the air on, so hopefully that's not too loud and distracting. So let's get to it. Chapter 21 is entitled Famine. There was a famine during David's reign that lasted for 3 years. So David asked the Lord about it. And the Lord said, "The famine has come because Saul and his family are guilty of murdering the Gibeonites." So King David summoned the Gibeonites. They were not part of Israel, but were all that was left of the nation of the Amorites. Israel had sworn not to kill them, but Saul, in his zeal, had tried to wipe them out. David asked them, "What can I do for you to make amends? Tell me so that the Lord will bless his people again." "Well, money won't do it," the Gibeonites replied, "and we don't want to see the Israelites executed in revenge." "What can I do then?" David asked. "Just tell me, and I will do it for you." Then they replied, "It was Saul who planned to destroy us, to keep us from having any place at all in Israel. So let 7 of Saul's sons or grandsons be handed over to us, and we will execute them before the Lord at Gibeon, on the mountain of the Lord." "All right," the king said, "I will do it." David spared Jonathan's son Mephibosheth. See, David's still keeping his promise to Jonathan, who was Saul's grandson, because of the oath David and Jonathan had sworn before the Lord. But he gave them Saul's 2 sons, Armoni and Mephibosheth, whose mother was Rizpah, daughter of Ai. He also gave them the 5 sons of Saul's daughter Merab, the wife of Adriel, son of Barzillai, from Meholah. The men of Gibeon executed them on the mountain before the Lord. So all 7 of them died together at the beginning of the barley harvest. Then Rizpah, the mother of 2 of the men, spread sackcloth on a rock and stayed there the entire harvest season. She prevented vultures from tearing at their bodies during the day and stopped wild animals from eating them at night. When David learned what Rizpah, Saul's concubine, had done, he went to the people of Jabesh Gilead and asked for the bones of Saul and his son Jonathan. So when David learned what Rizpah, Saul's concubine, had done, when Saul and Jonathan had died in a battle with the Philistines, it was the people of Jabesh Gilead who had retrieved their bodies from the public square of the Philistine city of Bethshem. So David brought the bones of Saul and Jonathan, as well as the bones of the men the Gibeonites had executed. He buried them all in the tomb of Kish, Saul's father, at the town of Zelah, in the land of Benjamin. After that, God ended the famine in the land of Israel. It says, God ended the famine. When the Gibeonites' anger had been assuaged, the reason for the famine was eliminated. We should not allow the brutality of this story from another age to blind us to a New Testament truth. The truth is, Jesus himself holds us responsible to seek reconciliation when we know no other holds something against us. That's an interesting. To seek reconciliation when we know no other holds something against us. So there's some things we need to reconcile in our lives. And it's interesting because the famine ended, and it's kind of like, once you can reconcile some things or make amends, it's kind of like your suffering ends in a way, So that was an interesting commentary. The next part of this chapter is war with Philistia. Once again, the Philistines were at war with Israel, and when David and his men were in the thick of battle, David became weak and exhausted. Ishbi-Benob was a descendant of the giants. His bronze spear had weighed more than 7 pounds, and he was armed with a new sword. He had cornered David and was about to kill him. But Abishai, son of Zeruiah, came to his rescue and killed the Philistine. After that, David's men declared, "You are not going out to the battle again. Why should we risk snuffing out the light of Israel?" After this, there was another battle against the Philistines in Gob. As they fought, Zebekiah from Hushah killed Zaph, another descendant of the giants. And still another battle at Gob. Elhanan, son of Jair from Bethlehem, killed the brother of Goliath of Gath. The handle of his spear was as thick as a weaver's beam. And another battle with the Philistines at Gath, a huge man with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, a descendant of the giants, defied and taunted Israel. But he was killed by Jonathan, the son of David's brother Shema. These 4 Philistines were descended from the giants of Gath, but they were killed by David and his warriors. David had a strong army taking out the giants. You know, and when you are in God's favor, he's going to take out those giants in your life too, those things that you just don't think you can overcome or handle or deal with. Whatever's going on, God will take those giants out. There was an old song by Casting Crowns that had lyrics that had to do with that. They're not coming to me right now. I would sing for you, so I'm not going to be able to sing for you because I can't think of it, but I know it's by Casting Crowns. It talks about how God can take out those giants in our lives. If anybody knows what song I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. So that concludes chapter 21 of 2 Samuel. Very interesting, very interesting. So the next chapter is 22, which is a psalm of thanksgiving. So we will look at that next. I did not know there was a psalm right in the middle of the chapter. So I like that. We'll read that tomorrow. Always remember, true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love and he lives on the inside of you. Bye.